You know, don't take this stuff seriously, because I certainly don't.
All right, you know, I said to Timmy Rotanz, Tim, what do you think about my how'd I do's this week?
We demand perfection.
Take it easy, buddy, okay? I'm not you. I liked Chaminade to beat Del Barton. You know how that went, Tim?
What are you doing?
I made a mistake, pal. We can't all be you, buddy. We can't be perfect. I liked St. Anthony's against Bosco. Boy, did they shut me up, and the head coach.
We dug this hole, dig ourselves out.
We should both get shovels, pal. I like Bergen against Iona Prep. Wazrick.
Not a rocket science going on here right now.
I thought we were tight. We just said nice things about him, McCabe. I liked, in the Somerset County final, I liked Ridge, finally, in the win column.
So that was surprising.
I used to like this Rotanz kid. You know what? Let's cancel the feature. He can't take shots at me like that. For the week 1 and 3, I am going downhill in a hurry. Weiserick. Number 8, Shoreham, Wading River. They get going in the semifinals. The defending state champs will play in defense of that state title in the Class C division Thursday against Glenn High School. And when they do, John Glenn, I don't have to tell you this, you better know where number 20 is. Jimmy Cavallo got on the fence with one of the best players Long Island has ever produced, Timmy Rotanz.
Here's Rotanz now. Rotanz to the left side. Down low he goes. The All-American has broken the tie. Timmy Rotanz.
If you had a reality show, it might be called Growing Up Rotanz. And if you grow up Rotanz, it's a life filled with lacrosse from day one. How early in your life was lacrosse part of your everyday?
It started pretty early, but I didn't really make it an everyday thing till probably, middle school, when I really figured out I might be able to do something with it.
For most 8th graders, to get onto a varsity sideline would be fun. To get into a varsity game would be an accomplishment. You scored 48 points as an 8th grader. That's epic stuff. At the time, did you know you were doing something a little outside the box?
No, not really. That's what I had to do that year, and what I had to do was just finish the ball, and I had a lot of great players around me. Joe Lustgarten, who's at UMBC, Connor Drost just finished a year at Post, so I had a bunch of great players around me, and it's easy to look good when, they're feeding me the ball on the backside all the time.
Tim, go!
If you go to the Rotanz house, there's a shrine to the game of lacrosse. It's about your father's career, about your uncle, about Ward Melville. I mean, do you remember as a kid kind of looking at some of those artifacts you might have thought they were, but just looking and thinking, man, my dad was pretty good?
Yeah, I saw all the pictures and all the jerseys from like England and Ward Melville and all these different states and that he played for and my uncle played for, and it was just pretty cool.
What makes up a Rotanz for the game of lacrosse? From your sister to your dad to your older brother to yourself?
I'd say just hard work and we don't talk. None of us talk when we play. We just play hard every play and keep it to ourselves, and we really motivate other people to get into it, and it's a lot of fun.
Hey, I got him.
We know what you can do as a midi. We know you can score goals. We know you can distribute. I think people started to learn a year ago when all of a sudden you took the pole on a man down. And they're like, here's now Tim Rotanz on defense and excelling. I mean, for you, that had to be exciting that all of a sudden now you had this pole in your hand and you're out there making things happen.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially getting beat on the whole game by defensemen to get a little payback and then bring it down, and it's kind of in my blood, I guess you could say.
Next year, you will leave Long Island and you'll go to one of the great lacrosse establishments in College America, University of Maryland, the Terps. When you walk through the door there, if they said, what position do you want to play, what will you say?
Whatever they need me to play. I mean, I'd prefer attack, but if I have to play midi, I'll play midi. If I have to be man down, if I can play man down, I'll try that, and I'll try anything, really.
So now Shoreham. How about that? Bullseye, Timmy Rotanz.
How do you identify yourself as a lacrosse player?
A team player. You know, I don't really look at the points. I look at how our team ends up, and it doesn't matter how many points you get, but if you get a state championship, you know, then it gets all put into perspective.
Just run him!
A year ago, you won what is really, I believe, in lacrosse, on the high school level, the toughest title to win, a New York State lacrosse championship. When you go home with that trophy, there had to be some level of satisfaction that not only did you do it for your family, for yourself, but for this great lacrosse community.
To bring, you know, a state championship trophy back here is always great, and especially when, you know, our team battled back from losing Trevor 13 seconds into the game, who's I thought was the best midi in America that year, lefty righty doing everything for us. So it was a great team effort that we really brought to the table that day.
Here's Rotanz now to the inside. Rotanz got a man wide open the crease, and it's 3-1. Rotanz is wheeling and dealing.
Coming into this year, there have only been 3 guys that have gone over 400 points for a career. You became the 4th one. Did that mean something to you?
Yeah, when I saw the names on that list, you know, my dad played against Zafuto, and I saw Cavallo play when I was, you know, getting onto the stage of varsity. So when I saw them play and saw that I could be on that list, I knew it was pretty good, and you know, I take a lot of respect for that.
Here come the Wildcats. Final seconds. Rotanz did it! Rotanz did it! The 2-time All-American delivers!
You've been on an absolute tear. You know, in your last 6 games, you have over 50 points. You're closing like a champion. Do you feel a sense that it's coming to an end?
Kind of, and it's bittersweet, but if we could, you know, go far this year, it'd be really nice, and I think we have the team to do it. We just got to step up, and, you know, it's our time.
Should Quick put a face on you?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I don't want to jinx us, but I think we have the team to do it if we play well.
It's Timmy Rotanz, Mike. And finally, a guy just like myself who, instead of talking about his greatness, just wants to go out for a cheeseburger. You got it, buddy.
Thank you.
I don't know what he's talking about, but it sounds good. Cavallo will be here in just a second. I tell you, man, this Rotanz kid, he is absolutely fantastic. He wants a face now after he killed me on all my picks just a moment ago. We'll see, 2-0. We will see. Let's continue with the poll.